Hello and welcome back to the TT podcast. You may be able to hear that we are currently at Manchester Airport, and that is because for this episode we'll be jumping on a plane and heading back to familiar territory, which is of course the Northwest 200. Roll those titles! So we're currently trackside at the Northwest 200 on Thursday. It is the 8th of May. We're here to soak up all the racing action from our favourite TT riders. And well underway now is the final race of the evening, which is the Superstock race. And as you can hear, they're coming by us now. Davey Todd is well out front. There's Paul Jordan going through. So currently, as the riders came through, obviously Davey Todd was easy to pick out because he was a few seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. But in second place, coming past for the first lap, was Ian Hutchinson, and that is phenomenal. Now, we all know that Ian Hutchinson is a formidable force around the Northwest and the TT course, but he is fair to say, and I think he wouldn't mind me saying that he hasn't been on the form that we've seen him of past. But right now, second place, third place, fighting with Dean Harrison for a podium spot here at the Northwest. Bodes well for Hutchie when he arrives on the island. Right, it's time to go and catch up with Lee Johnston.
I'm just on the phone, give us a minute.
Unbelievable. Right, Jenny, let's get your opinion, your professional opinion on what we've seen today. So it's Thursday, 8th of May. We've seen 3 races this evening at the Northwest 200. What was the biggest surprise from those riders who are preparing for the TT? What did you see that kind of shocked you?
It's got to be Hutchie on the podium.
100%.
Yeah.
Did anybody expect that?
No.
Did we see that coming?
No, definitely
at any
not.
point?
No, especially from where he qualified in that race to pop up straight to second. That was awesome.
Because I watched him over the line for the first time, and I saw Davey go through, and then I thought it was Hutchie's bike, and I was like, there is no way on God's green earth that is Ian Hutchinson.
The big thing I was shocked with was the emotion out of him. Like, you've seen it in the winner's enclosure, and he's not like that at all. So I don't know if that was, do you think it was relief, Jenny, more than anything, that he can still do what he was thinking he could do in his head, or what? Where do you think that came from?
I don't know if it was relief. I think it's just everything he's been through, and then to finally get where he wants to be, which is back on the podium, is just a mass. Especially
with that new team, and it was like it's not been organised at all. I don't mean that in a bad thing, but it was just so last minute. So for him to do that and come with them and get the thing back on the box is really, really impressive.
So staying on that theme then, how difficult is it? Like you just said, that team is brand new team. We didn't really know about it until a couple of weeks ago.
I don't think Hutchie did.
Probably not. How's their preparation going? How is it a good thing that they're going in at the deep end with Michael Laverty doing all this, or is there talent in there behind the scenes that know what they're doing? And
we think it's good from like a spectator point
of
view.
It's exciting. This is what we need for the fans. But as a rider, it would not be calming in that environment, Jenny. You know, there's going to be loads of little things that aren't organised or done or whatever, and that does weigh on you. But sometimes stuff like this just happens. It's just, you just roll the dice. Well, it's the same as like Pete and Davey coming here with new bikes and no setup and going pole and second place in the superbike class. Do you know what I mean? They were the least 8 weeks ago they didn't have a team. So I think the trend is now, the later you set your team up, the better your team does.
The good thing is the fundamentals of the team are vastly experienced, aren't they? They know what they're doing. Even though they're pulling everything together very last minute, they know what they need to pull together to make it work.
So does that bode well now that they've had a race, they've got their system set up now for getting to the TT?
It's got to, hasn't it?
I don't know, has it?
I reckon.
Do you think?
Yeah. This is, as much as this is independent racing in its own right, they're setting themselves up for TT, aren't they?
Yeah, but the TT is a different animal.
Well, this is what I was kind of alluding to. Is it a different animal?
Oh, yeah. This is a triangle, pretty much pan flat. The surface is amazing. So setting the bike up here is a lot easier. If the thing stops and goes, you're pretty much there.
But the team sits in a paddock here as it does at the TT.
Yeah, but
so in terms of that,
making a bike comfortable to ride and easier to ride at somewhere like the TT is a lot harder than here. And especially a lot of that's based on confidence. So if you go there with confidence, there's things that you don't feel, where if you've got no confidence, it's a problem. Does that make sense? Yeah.
How much confidence do you think Ian Hutchinson is now going to take, regardless of his results towards the end of this week for here? How much more confidence is he going to take into this TT now than he probably did for the past couple of years?
It'll lift him up, won't it? Lift his spirits and know that it can be done.
But he's still realistic.
Yeah,
is what
exactly.
Yeah. I think he will be. He's always got that belief, but now that's given him a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, a bit of confidence.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what he does on Saturday now after that, even here, because he knows he can do it here.
He knows the bike's capable as well, which is a big thing, isn't it?
So that's definitely interesting. But yeah, so that's only one story. So that was him. Then Michael Dunlop's done the double. Mm-hmm. He hasn't won here in 9 years. So think of all the TTs he's won in the last 9 years. No, on any bike.
Who?
Michael.
Has he not?
Nope. So he's done the double on new bikes as well. Davey Todd's won the first race for the new team.
Yeah. There's loads. There's loads going off.
It's a bit of a BMW fest, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was going to say, does it not feel a little bit like it's a BMW Cup with Dean Harrison thrown in?
Dean is literally the only... So in the Superbike race today, the top 7, apart from Dean, were BMWs.
Is it like the Ducati in MotoGP that we see dominating?
It is a bit,
is the BMW... Why is that? Why is the BMW so good on the road?
Fast, isn't it? Is
that it?
Fast.
It's just fast in a straight line?
It handles
there's a few other reasons. It obviously does. I wouldn't say it stops well in British Championship, but it seems to stop well here. It's got better aero. It's more stable. Like in some of the races today, Dean's Honda looked. Yeah, I think a few other people would have been rolling out of the throttle a little bit sooner, but Dean is not lacking in commitment of any shape or form, so that was not the case. But yeah, there is a few reasons. Plus, quite a few of the decent road teams seem to be on BM, so then that makes the bike better.
Everyone's swapped to BMs.
Yeah.
Jamie Coward's on a BM from Honda.
Yeah. Obviously Michael is.
Michael, yeah.
Quickly, before I head into the paddock and go and see who I can accost, Davey Todd, he was comfortably leading that race. Do we think he would have won it had he stayed out front? But what was the mistake he made? Was it a bike problem or was it a Davey Todd problem?
It looked like he missed a back shift, but it was obviously not a gear lever problem because he continued on in the race. If he had missed the back shift and then pulled into the pits, we would have known it was a gear lever problem. But he obviously just missed some back shifts.
Did he go straight on at one of the chicanes then? Or?
Yeah, at the end of the straight towards Coleraine. So I don't know what the corner's called.
No, that doesn't surprise me.
Well, there's even less corners here than the TT.
All right, let's just dream a little bit. If there was a Michael Dunlop and Davey Todd shootout in that final lap, who's coming out on top?
What do you think?
Man, because they both had a win each, didn't they? So they both kind of...
No, who do you think? Answer the question.
I'm giving you a pragmatic answer.
Answer Jenny's question.
I think. Well, Davey was in front, but I think
it's
Michael
a one-word answer.
Michael Dunlop. That's 2 words. Who do you think would?
Do you know
won
why he says that, Jenny? Because he's afraid when he interviews him.
He's like, I've just seen him over there.
Yeah.
Who do you think would have won?
I think Davey would have risked more. Having watched Davey in the Supersport race and stuff, Davey is full of confidence, and I think he would have risked slightly more. Plus, Michael had a crash during the day, so maybe it was just a little bit not gun shy, but yeah.
Any issues with that crash? Is he all right?
No, he's completely fine.
Good.
Well, I say that and I don't actually know, but he looks completely fine.
I mean, he looked fine. He's out there riding his bike.
Even if he wasn't, he would hide it, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Right, Jenny, it's going to be absolutely gutting not seeing you at the TT, but thank you for sticking around. I know it's cold. Go back to your hotel, your 5-star hotel.
Thanks, Jenny.
Right, I'm going to leave Jenny and we're going to head into the paddock now and see who we can catch before the sun sets. So here we are with Team Boss taking his first victory as Team Boss. Peter Hickman.
Hi.
Probably not the rider that you wanted finishing first, but you'll take it, right?
You know, if it's not me that's going to win, then I want Davey to win. So, that's the way it works, isn't it?
That's nice when there's only 2 of you that can win. If it's not me, I would like him to win.
And he did win.
He did. Yeah, he did. Do you know what? First ever road race for the 810 team. First and third. We can't have asked for much more, really. It'd have been nice to have a 1-2, wouldn't it? But no, honestly, really happy. Bike's working really good. I was a bit steady at the start, like I normally am. But yeah, overall, really happy, I think.
I want to know what's going on in the tent, though. We stood outside it now. Is it all calm? Did we get everything done in time?
Oh, no, not done in time. No, bear in mind we rode the Stockers today for the first time. Yeah, so it's, honestly, really good. Like, team spirits are really high. It's, everyone's getting on really well. It's so far so good.
I was in yesterday, and honestly, they were putting stickers on, and I said, "Is Pete good at stickers?" And they went, "He's less shit than Davey at stickers." So it wasn't a compliment. So that was the one job they were allowed to do.
It wasn't, but I've done the majority of the stickering, I'll have you know.
Is that why they were all upside down?
They're all blown off.
Why they're upside down,
The bike was playing after the race. The stickers were all.
Lee, do you look at these guys and you just think, yeah, that's what I've had to do for the past God knows how many years?
Funny you should say that. I spoke to James Hillier at Oulton, and he come up to me and he went, "You know what, fair play." I know Pete already knows because Pete's run his own team and everything, but James come up to me and went, "You know what, fair play." He says, "I struggle to bring my helmet and my leathers and my boots," which most riders do. That's,
they do.
You'll know that even with Davey now. That's the only thing you have to take care of.
And most of them have an assistant for that anyway.
Yeah.
So are we still 50-50 then, or is the management starting to lean a bit towards you because you're turning up on time and you're bringing your own helmet, you're bringing your own boots?
Not particularly, no. It's, as it was, 50-50. We work through everything together, make decisions together as a team, really, not even just me and Davey. Like, we actually ask the people in the team, like, we're thinking of going that direction, or what does everyone think is the right direction, and that's the one we're going. It's not, we like to we've got so much experience in the team, why shouldn't we be asking the right people? The reason that they're employed is because of how good they are. So why should we be telling them what to do? And
that's being a good manager. That's part of the job. You don't employ a really good crew chief and then don't listen to what he wants to do, or you don't, all these technical people, what's the point in having them if Pete came in and spouted his mouth off and didn't use the knowledge that is there, and they will soon get fed up with that because it'll only happen once, and I can't imagine they will take it twice. So
how was today? First time riding the Stocker, first ever time riding the Stocker.
Yeah, good.
Are you glad you've kind of got your foot in now with it?
Yeah, just the race didn't quite go to plan, to be honest. I had to go straight on at Macroboy. It was a bit tight with me and Hutchie going in there, and I had a bit of a problem with the adjuster, the brake adjuster. I think was winding the lever off. So when I came to the brakes, it came right to the bar, which I wasn't comfortable with anyway. And then Hutchie kind of slid up the inside right at the last minute when I wasn't expecting it. I was a bit kind of like, I don't really know where I'm at. So I ended up taking the safer option and going straight on. But obviously the problem with that is you've got to go through the barriers and then stop in the stop box.
Put your foot down.
And then go again. So I came back on, I think, 10th. So I was about second or third at the time. So I came back on 10th and then worked my way back to 5th. So the front of the second group, if you like. But that was as much as I could do, really. But bike feels good.
Yeah,
quite
comfortable with the bike, though, yeah?
Yeah, really comfortable, considering it is brand spanking new today. We had to bed the discs in on the first session. So, yeah, it's overall, first ever road race weekend for 810 Racing. We're not finished yet, obviously. And we've had a win and a podium, and we were... Well, Davey was leading the Superstock race and had a small electronic issue. I think pretty damn good, really, isn't it?
Oh, so Lee lied about that. You said it was a Davey issue.
I said that it was a backshift issue, and if it had been a gear lever, he wouldn't have continued. So Fair. It's obviously more. Pete has now confirmed.
Yeah, he couldn't shift back, so he was stuck in 6th gear. So every time he was trying to pull the lever, it just stayed.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so that's why he was endoing all the way in, but he was endoing in 6th gear.
Does that class as mechanical or electronical?
Yeah, it was electronical because it was the blipper that wasn't blipping.
Right. That's when you have to get the old wrist back out.
Yeah, you have to get the wrist action back out. Like I
wish these people could see the wrist action that Pritchard is just...
Yeah, maybe not. No,
holding that microphone.
He's gobbling up that wrist action there.
Oh, hello. Look who's joined us. It's only Davey Todd.
Team manager number 2 has now entered the building.
Entered the chat.
The most interesting thing Pete did say was that the fact that you're open to splitting the prize money because the first winner went to the team.
Team's a team, right?
That was decent.
Team,
first win for the team. Money goes to the mechanics.
Yeah, I bought the team ice creams today and it cost me about 50 quid. So I want
so you only have another 4,372 quid to fork out.
Something like.
What even is the prize money for the two?
Not enough is the answer.
Yeah, but not enough.
Not enough, especially not for a Thursday. I bet
the work that it takes, you probably get.
Put it this way: it wouldn't cover your tyres or your fuel or anything else that you've. Yeah,
brilliant.
No,
wasted time.
I'm glad I didn't bother winning it now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to push because I didn't want that 250 quid.
First and foremost, congratulations. Secondly, how does it feel to be the first winner at 810 Racing?
No, that's a dig. I like that kind of dig. Yeah. I'm feeling a bit tired. I don't think I'm going out tonight for dinner. On a serious note, yeah, it was really cool to get a win for the team that got built in 8 weeks. So like it's credit to the boys. To be fair, all the work they put in over the last 8 weeks, making it happen. And I'd like to take some credit, but I put a few stickers on that they had to take back off because it was done that badly. And me and Pete actually spent like hours. We're like literally into the middle of the night, and the boys come back in the morning and peeled all of our stickers off pretty much. I have got the stick for the worst sticker, but what was it Daz said to you?
I'm less shit.
You're not
as shit as Davey.
Yeah,
that was just
yeah, definitely not good, but just not as shit as me. Yeah, but we did try to help.
Hey, it's the effort that counts.
I think we were slowing them down more than helping them. To be fair, but
do you know what I was saying earlier in commentary? So this sort of like puts out the whole thing of teams being organised. Hutchie's team was set up about a month ago. He's got on podium. These two were set up 2 months ago.
Yeah,
he rocked up on pole, second position, race win. Like, it makes you what on earth have you been doing all the other years for?
What's everyone else doing?
Oh, yeah, true.
Well, hey, you've got a point, boys. It's still early days. You've still got a race to go here. You're probably not even thinking about it as yet. But have you got one eye there now? A little more confidence under your belt?
Cross-eyed.
Nah, you're always sort of thinking about the TT and being prepared for the TT, to be completely honest. But also the relevance of the Northwest of the TT isn't massive. You feel like you've got a good bike here, you go at the TT in the first lap, you're like, oh my God, what am I riding here? Like it's just not really the same. I don't think it gives you a whole lot of info, but it's more time for us, seeing as we've had zero testing. We had the first round of BSB at the weekend, which was our first test, and then here. So we're both still developing. We're still testing, trying different setups and different things to get us both comfortable on a brand new bike. So yes, I'm really excited to get to the TT, but also we could also use a little bit more time to get everything dialed in a bit better.
Are we going to find time between now and the TT to get it all
Donington
dialed in?
BSB.
Right, okay. Between that,
while we're racing again.
That's it. So you're off here, straight back to Donington, then straight back to the
weekend.
TT.
Yeah.
And how comfortable do we think we can get on those bikes before the first night of practice?
I think already like the results speak for themselves. We're both actually in a fairly decent place considering we've had no time whatsoever. So the more time that we're going to get Saturday and then Donington Park for BSB, it's only going to make us better and make us stronger. So yeah,
maybe not, because with no preparation they're going really fast. So the more time they get, they might gradually get slower and slower.
Tuned to a standstill.
Bodes well though. Bodes well, doesn't it? But I think a lot of people think it does because it's a road, right?
Yeah, it's nothing.
Or a road race, but it is nothing like it, right?
It's more like a short circuit than Oulton Park probably is to here, or
and if you've got a fast bike and if you're brave on the brakes, you can be at the front.
Right, Lee, I'm going to let you go to bed. I'm going to let these boys go to Chinese, and I'm just going to go and sit in a corner on my off.
We want proof though that Davey's paid.
100%.
I want to tweet tomorrow, or no, because it won't happen. No squirming out of this one.
We'll catch him up. We'll catch him.
Well, he's from Yorkshire.
No, we're all right because the team have already gone and started their own stuff, so they've got the team credit card. Like it's not. We're going to be paying for it anyway, but we're going to be paying for it, not just me.
Expense it, it's fine. Cheers, gents. Right, that's it. We're going to call it a night there. I'm off to the hotel now. We're going to get up bright and early, head back into the paddock and see who else we can see to chat all things TT 2025. So join me tomorrow, but for you, in literally 2 seconds. And welcome back. Good morning, Lee Johnston. So today is Friday the 9th of May, which is currently a rest day here at the Northwest 200. We're going to be chatting to some familiar TT names in the competitors' paddock. Maybe we'll take a peek to see their machinery with their team as well and head backstage at the rider meet and greet in Coleraine to see how the riders are preparing for TT 2025. You excited, Lee?
This was supposed to be my rest day and you have rocked up to my motorhome. Currently laid on my, I was going to say chaise longue, but what's the right word for it?
Well, this is it's not a sailor's chair, is it? It's a pilot. Is it a pilot's chair?
Captain chair.
Captain's chair.
That's it.
Yeah.
You are the captain of the ship.
I am the captain of this ship.
That's not official, by the way, if anyone thinks he's the captain of the podcast.
I mean, I am. I hold this together like Spider-Man's web. Anyway, let's talk TT. Let's talk news. Last time we spoke was on the island at the TT Live podcast, and the last guest we had on, Michael Dunlop. He didn't even know what bike he was going to ride. Was that all for show? Did he have an inkling as to what he was riding? Because a week later, here we are at the Northwest, and he's on a BMW, and he's on a Ducati in the Supersport.
Yeah, I think he had an inkling, but honestly, going on past history of Michael Dunlop, moving brands, leaving brands in mid-TT, it's happened twice now. He's did it on the Milwaukee Yamaha. He's done it on the Triumph last year, so he jumped back on his R6. Yeah, I think he looks a little bit more settled to come here and get the results and stuff, so that's definitely positive. And I had a little talk with him about the Ducati. He seems really happy with that as well, so we could be in for a solid TT where he doesn't leave a manufacturer.
Do you think he'll still wheel in that R6 just in case?
I'd say the chances of it being on the island are probably still quite high.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, he can do 130 mile an hour lap on it. He can win races on it. It's pretty much a dead cert. And he wouldn't need a lot of practice on it to be able to jump straight on that bike. So I'd say he has honestly refreshed the motors and the bike is ready to go, even if it's not needed.
It's probably a moot point now, but if he'd spent the whole week last year on that Triumph, do you think he would have been able to get up to speed on as he did on the R6, as quick as he did on the R6?
I think he gave up on the Triumph before actually not giving it a chance. He just didn't feel like it was the bike for him. So,
right.
And he's pretty quick at making them decisions, I think. So yeah, and he's in a position to do that. He doesn't need anyone or a manufacturer. He can paddle his own canoe, as we say. So yeah, I think, but yeah, he seems a lot more content with the Ducati.
Well, won on it first time out.
That sort of helps the contentment.
Always, yeah. New things for this year as well. At the TT podcast, we were supposed to announce the livery of the 810 TT bike. Obviously, it was under wraps. One sponsor, I don't know which one it was, didn't sign it off in time, so we couldn't see it. But we've finally got to see it, the reveal of their livery. It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I spoke to both Pete and Davey, and they said that you...
go on.
You wouldn't agree to your fee of launch fee, so that was the stalling point. They couldn't afford you.
Why should I put my face to their brand?
How funny would it be to see your face on the side of that bike? That would be cool, as if you guys come to the TT, you can watch Pritchard go round at 200 mile an hour.
Right, actually, there must be a sticker maker out here.
Oh yeah,
make a sticker with my face on it, and we'll stick it on the 810 racing bikes without them.
Sneaky one.
Yeah, without them noticing.
If we can get that in the winner's enclosure, that would be the podcast complete. Yeah, the bike looks really... I love the fact that they've left the carbon bodywork on the Superbike, obviously, because everyone loves a bit of carbon, don't they? Bit of bling, bit of carbon. And they've got like two... Is it like flow orange and flow pink, which you wouldn't think would go together? It looks really cool, yeah. So obviously Pete and Davey have had no say in the design work.
100%.
And no say in putting the stickers on, because we know that they're useless at that. So you get all the facts on this podcast.
All the in-depth behind the scenes, which is exactly what people want.
Oh yeah. Come here for the non-factual facts.
Non-factual facts with us. Right, Lee, what's your plans for today?
You've already interrupted my plans for today. I was trying to get out of my bicycle for a few hours, but I have put this podcast first because I am the backbone of this podcast. Thanks, guys. I can hear a round of applause. Can you put a round of applause in there? Drum roll.
Why do you need a drum roll?
Well, it's just something that makes me feel special. Not a say. That does not make me feel special.
Go on your bike. So, Lee, before we go off on our adventure and head down to the paddock, we've been joined in your motorhome by Paul Jordan. Paul, how are you?
Good, thank you, Chris. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Thanks for asking. What's up with your finger there? For those listening, got a little scab on your finger. How did you get that?
Just somebody thought it'd be a great idea to just throw a stone at me when I was riding around.
See,
it's a bit swollen as well. It had a really big blister on it yesterday, and you wanted to squeeze it, and I said don't, so it doesn't get infected, but it clearly has.
Hey, slightly smaller than a bird, though, eh?
Yeah, true. You know,
how many stones get flicked up at you while you're riding?
It's absolutely insane. If you can imagine somebody standing at the end of the road with a shotgun just shooting you, that's what it feels like.
For real? Can you hear the...
Well, I counted the last time I was here and it was 3,727 stones. Just to be maybe 28, but I don't want to be...
But this is something you don't think about. And I know it's daft and it's stupid and it's small, but it happens, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right, anyway, that is in the past.
Yeah.
We are here in the future.
Yeah.
Northwest 200. Currently, how's it going?
Yeah, not so bad. Practice was actually really, really good. All the winter training we've done all's paying off. Didn't really put it to play last night in the races. It's not quite sure where my head was, but hey ho, that's racing in it. Put it behind me and roll on Saturday as such. I know I've got the pace to be where I need to be, and if you'd said to me last year or the year before, if you come to the Northwest and you run top 10, I'd have bit your arm off. But right now, that's not where I want to be. I've higher hopes for myself, and I'm starting to believe now that I can be at the front. So I need to be at the front.
So last night, going into those races, and you say it didn't pan out the way you wanted it. Is it something as simple as a rider coming down the inside of you who you weren't expecting to be as fast as you, who kind of gets in your way, or is it just not being able to get into the rhythm of a race?
Yeah, I think that was maybe because there's a few lads that's been out here done racing. Well, there's quite a few done club racing or any sort of racing. That was my first race of 2025.
Yeah.
So the race nerves were there, and you're getting into the unknown as such. I know we've done it for many, many years, but that first race is still nerve breaking.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just nice to get out there and go. As I said, the Lee spoke to me after the first race. I go, that's the monkey off my back. And in the 600 race, I did give it my all. We were just lacking something.
Mm.
And we're going to try and find a bit of speed or such so I can go with them, because I believe I can run with them. There's not one part of me does not believe that I can't run with the front boys here. We're just, where I'm losing it, you need it here. And that's just...
I'll tell you one thing. You're not going to find it in Lee's camper van, though, are you?
You never know what you can find in here.
There's no...
Oh, yeah, that's it.
There's never been any speed in Leeds camper van. That is a fact.
My point being, thank you for sitting in the camper van. Good luck on Saturday, and we'll see you on the island.
Yes, see you there.
Right, while Lee's going out cycling, I'm off around the paddock to see who else I can find and chat to. So the sun's shining, we're down in the paddock. We've nipped between a couple of vans. I was expecting to find Daz Jones, but a man I found, who I wanted to speak to anyway, Daz Burrell. Brand new to the Northwest, brand new to the TT. This is a TT podcast. However, you are not brand new when it comes to racing motorcycles. TT Live podcast, Peter Hickman had a lot of good things to say about you. Give us, in a few sentences, exactly what you have achieved and what you've done and how long you've been racing motorbikes, because it's a long, illustrious career.
I wouldn't know about illustrious.
Illustrious.
Yeah, it's not that word anyway. Well, it's not what I've had. It's been long. But no.
Arduous.
Yeah, so probably, I think I started probably about 2001, 2002. Super teens, and then quickly moved on to BMW Box Cup, traveling around the world. Basically at 16, which was absolutely mental. First ever race outside of UK was at Daytona, which was crazy. And then, moved on to some European Superstock, and then back to base B for British Superstock.
Yeah.
Straight into Superbike for the Evo Championship, bit of Superbike, World Endurance, started a business, didn't race for about 4 or 5 years, and then had a call from Eddie Roberts, did a couple of wildcards on a Kramer in Supersport, then went to the BMW Cup, did No Limits 600s, and then doing BMWs again and a bit of roads this year. So that's a brief.
So that's the thing we're going to pick up on, the fact that you're doing the roads. You come into roads as a newcomer when most people are kind of in the twilight of their racing career, shall we say. You've decided to give it another go on the roads.
Yeah, well,
why?
I don't look at whatever I've done has definitely not been a career, because I've never earned a living out of it. So it's not a career. I've always worked, and what I've found out especially when I try to stop racing, is that I just can't get away from it. That's the problem of it. It's, I think, like I said to someone else, I think it's as much the competition side of things for me. However, saying that, obviously the roads, I'm not coming for the competition side, but I've noticed this week that it annoys me when I'm not good at something. So, yeah, I quickly realised that this week.
That's a racer.
Yeah, there is that side. Like that, I think, obviously, it's an itch I've always wanted to scratch, so to speak.
Yeah.
And obviously, good mates with Richard Cooper and obviously ex-teammates and good mates with Hickey as well.
Yep.
I've always looked at it and what ifs and what buts. Again, not to make a career out of it, just want to come and enjoy it. And yeah, that's what we're here trying to do. Word being trying.
And have you enjoyed it so far?
Honestly, I love riding around by myself. I honestly love riding by myself. Don't get us wrong, the first couple of sessions, until I take a while to warm up to things, and then once I get the bike a little bit more stable, then I was loving it. Riding with the group I'm with, not enjoying it one bit. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, that race yesterday was just... I got a good start, tipped into the first left-hander, which is that fast one. 2 people chopped my nose off, and then I just got dive-bombed into York, and I was like...
I don't need this.
It's not even that sketchy on the short circuits, and I'm sure people listen to this saying, oh, yeah, that's what Northwest is all about, but I don't need to do that. I'd rather just set off the back and just enjoy riding around. That's what I want to do, and hopefully that's what's going to be different at TT.
Hugely different, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of hoping for. A few people said this was going to be the case when I came here, so it's not like I was oblivious to it, but yeah, it's just... honestly, mate, I wish I had a camera, because you're not... It's like people have got ants in the pants, literally left of the track, to the right of the track, to the middle of the track, to the left of the right, and then it's just absolutely mental. Like, they're just all over the shop, and there's no... This makes me sound old, but obviously I've done a lot of racing, and you get used to people being in a position for a reason.
Yeah.
They're probably used to the roads, but they haven't done as much racing. There's no need for them to do what they're doing, and it just freaks me out. I'm not going to lie. Like, just top and bottom of it. So, yeah, that's why I'm hoping the TT is going to be different, but the whole... I missed out the second race yesterday just because for that reason. I just wasn't.
Comfortable.
I wasn't in it, and to be honest, my head was a bit tired as well.
I bet.
Obviously, it's the old age, but yeah, head was tired. So the plan is now we're just going to go through some data because we've not looked at any yet. We're going to go through some data, try and come up with a new setup, and basically, I've got a few things that I want to try just purely for the fact of when I get to the TT to set the bike up for that reason. Like there's just a couple of things on the bike where it doesn't do what I want it to do. Fast enough, and then by the time it's just the high speed stuff, it just doesn't, like, I can't get to move fast enough. Like,
right.
I feel like I'm quite strong on a bike normally, and I'm resting it a lot just in a straight line just to get the thing to just go slightly left or right. And
right.
It's a little bit too lazy at the minute. So yeah, we're going to change some stuff, and then hopefully when we get TT, we've got a better base set, and that's all I do. So
the point of coming here, one was to, I guess, race the Northwest, but prepare yourself. Do you feel like you're going, when you get to the TT now, you're not going to be, although you've still got 37 3/4 miles, you're not thrown in at the deep end of being surrounded by houses, surrounded by curbs. You kind of got used to that aspect of it here.
Honestly, that bit is not even come into it.
Really?
Like, honestly, it's weird. Like, you didn't want one of the strangest things was I came here hoping it was going to feel so illegal. Like, I was hoping I was going to feel like I was going to get arrested at any point for riding flat out down the street, but I kind of didn't get that feeling. I was devastated with that, but... No, it's a strange one. Like, you just look where you're going, don't you? At the end of the day, like, if you start looking at lampposts and stuff, you're not.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing it. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't get us wrong. There's a few bits where you take me a bit more cautious, but a couple of places where I'm taking it cautious because I'm not feeling comfortable on the bike yet. Like, just obviously I'm not used to the way bumps are on a street circuit compared to a road circuit. It's night and day different. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, we've got brand new suspension in as well that I've never rode anywhere else before as well. So there's a couple of bits and pieces like that. But yeah, we're getting there. I'm happy. To be honest, I'm genuinely happy with the time I did in qualifying. I think, I did a 4:39, which obviously it's not setting the world light, but I was happy with that really for third session here. So yeah, pretty happy.
Right, I'm going to leave you to having a look into the data. I'm going to come and accost you after your first newcomers lap at the TT, and we'll see how that opinion of illegal riding on the road is different.
Yeah, hopefully I get that feeling. I feel I'm getting chased by the police around
the moment you're down Bray Hill, you'll be like, this is the feeling I was chasing.
Honestly, mate, there's some sections where, like, when I come here over, like, even just over the link road and stuff like that, and some section back down the coast road, it's mega. It's like unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm kind of, the sections at the TT I already look at and think, fuck me, that looks so good. That looks good. So don't get us wrong. I'm not looking forward to the big jumps.
You're a big guy. You'll hold it down.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Got no comeback for that one, but yeah.
In a good way. Baz, cheers, mate. We'll see you over on the island soon.
See you then.
Cheers, mate. So I found myself heading over to KTS Racing, sponsored by Through Dark. Right, Jamie Coward. Jamie, things been going all right? Preparation going well so far?
Yeah, it's going really good. It's we've had no racing until yesterday, to be fair. We've been doing a lot of testing, doing BSB tests and been in Spain. Obviously, that was a bit of a washout, the first one. And been doing a lot of riding. I feel really good on the bike. Yesterday we had I've not been here at the Northwest for 2 years, and we had some really strong results yesterday. We qualified well with 2 6th place finishes, and unfortunately in the Superstock rate yesterday I was lying second and I had a big stone go through the screen. So but it just shows that I've still got the pace round here, and it puts us in good stead for the TT. You know, my lap times everywhere I've been to have been as fast as I've ever been before. So it's I'm looking kind of looking at the bigger picture. You know, it's nice to get a good result here, which we did yesterday, and we'll focus on the TT as well. We've got to think about that. We've got that to think about, should we say?
The pace seemed pretty hot yesterday, though, didn't it? More hotter than I've seen it for a long time here. It's
the fastest I've ever been round here before. So, and then the boys obviously a bit further in front. The pace is really hot. The weather's been really nice and kind to us, to be fair, which has helped. There's lots of rubber down on the circuit, and setups obviously. Everyone's setups up to optimum, should we say? Maybe there might be a bit more to get yet. So we'll find out tomorrow. But yeah, it's been going really well so far.
So we've got race tomorrow. Providing all that goes fine, its next step is. Are you heading to Donington, or are you going to be straight into TT?
It's logistically it's a bit too difficult for us just because we got to get back, and then the boys have obviously we've all got to go back to work. We're only a privateer team, so the boys obviously get back to work for a few days or whatever. And obviously we've got to prep the bikes for the TT, so I'd like to be there, but unfortunately it's just a bit too tight for us, should we say? Even
though you're going to be missing Donington, do you think, and I feel it personally, that you're coming into this TT, and quite a lot of other riders that haven't for the past few years are coming into this year's TT the best they've ever been riding, the fastest they've ever been riding? Yeah,
everyone's in the same boat. Everyone's I feel.
Well, you in particular.
I feel really, really good. No, the bike we've moved from the Honda to the new, or the BMW to last year's generation, should we say, 2024. But the bike itself feels really nice, and so I feel like I said the bike feels good. It suits my style and my size, should we say, a little bit with the aero front. I feel really, really positive. Looking forward to the TT. Like I said, I went out here yesterday qualifying, and I was just doing my own thing, going off on my own, and my pace on my own's good. So that's always stands in good stead, because obviously at the TT we're setting off individually, so I feel like we're standing as a good stead for the TT, should we say.
And then let's touch on this bike behind us. Listeners can't see it, but it's a stunning Triumph 765. There's a lot of support coming from Triumph for you this year, isn't there, as well? Yeah. Do you feel like carries any sort of burden, or are you happy for that support, and you're going to thrive knowing that you've got that support? It's
obviously pressure, because obviously they put it's not in the limelight, but they've believed in me to get them results. You know, we went a million miles away last year, to be fair, in the Supersport race, and that were our first year there on the bike. So yesterday, our first time here on the bike, and we were qualified good, and we're in the group at the front. You know, we're not a million miles away, so the bike's strong. I feel good on the bike. So yeah, I think heading towards the TT, like I said before, I'm out there doing my own thing in qualifying, and I think that stands in good stead for the TT, because like I said, you set off on your own, and I can just do my own thing. So the bike feels good. I believe it's more to give tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to the TT, where we should be well in there. We're fighting for podiums.
100%. Yeah, I've got a feeling I'm going to be interviewing you on the fan park after one of these races.
Hopefully, mate. That's the plan. It's not for lack of trying anyway, but for me and the boys of the team and the Triumph and everyone involved. I'm really looking forward to getting tomorrow out of the way, try and get some good strong results here at the Northwest, and then look forward to rip roaring around the mountain course at TT.
Cannot wait to see you out there, mate. You've got a few more signatures to sign, so I'm going to leave you to it.
Can you not keep talking for a little bit longer?
Oh, sorry, mate. So tell us about your whole career. No, I'm going to leave you to it. Good luck tomorrow, and I'll see you over on the island in a few weeks.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. All right, here we are outside the freshest team to bless us at the Northwest and the TT, and we're currently surrounded. In fact, Daz Jones, team principal. What's your
general dog's body? I think
general dog's body of 810 racing now.
Yes, it's looking that way. Yeah.
Are you getting used to the name? Are you getting used to the bosses?
Yeah, getting used. Don't know about the bosses, but getting used to the name. No, it's good. It's good. Nice atmosphere. Good vibe. Busy, stressful, tired. That's racing. But it's nice.
Just quickly for the listeners who can't see it, we're surrounded by some carbon fibre fairings from various bikes, one being Davey's, one being Pete's. Yeah. In terms of price here, How much are we looking for this? We've got about 5 or 6 pieces of carbon fibre fairing here.
Yeah, it's probably about a week's wage for you. It's probably about £3,500.
Oh, just a couple of hours worth of that.
Yeah,
mate.
Yeah, about £3,500. This company here, a little plug here, but this Ilmberger Carbon, they kindly they sponsor us with an amount. So obviously it's not so bad, but it's still a lot of money.
When it's made, is it handmade or not?
Yes.
Is it all handmade?
Yes.
Wow.
Nice though.
It's it's absolutely stunning. And we were just saying earlier the livery of the bike, stunning.
Yeah, and it kind of just made it up as we went along. To be fair, between we've got a little group with me, Pete, and Davey, and we'd all throw an idea in there, put it on. And Pete's not too bad on Photoshop, to be fair, so he would play a little bit, and we'd say change this, change that, or what about this? And then it all came together. And once it was painted, we sort of stood back and was like, we've actually done all right there.
Yeah,
it's come out.
I mean, we would have seen it at the TT if we could have unveiled it there at the podcast, but
not quite what we was hoping for. But you just know what it's like. You got to wait for sponsors and things to be signed off, and we didn't want to upset anyone, so we just had to wait. So
does it feel different coming into this road season here at the Northwest than into the TT with this type of team? We're in the garage, and the personnel looks exactly the same as it was from FHO. Obviously, Stewie Johnson's come from with Davey.
He's come with Davey and Mike and other mechanics.
But the team pretty much looks the same as it was going to at the start of the year.
Yep.
Has that been easier or more difficult?
It's the same, if I'm honest with you.
No change?
No, it just feels the same. It's not massively different. I think because sometimes it gets I don't get stale, but 4 years of doing the same thing, and I'm sure in 4 years' time it'll feel the same. It'll feel the same here. But so far so good. I'm sure there's going to be upset along the way, especially with two rivals battling out the TT. but as a whole, they're both grown up enough, and they you can't both win.
No.
So they get on really well. And I keep saying it, but the atmospheres and the camaraderie in the camp's really good. And it's at the minute nice.
Do you think there is going to be any needle between them?
I don't think there will, to be honest. But
they're two
if
pretty
there
laid
is,
back riders, aren't they?
And I think that's why it works.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to wait and see, and if not, then I'll have to get some handbags out and
have a bit of a
let them
dance
thrash it out. Yeah.
But do you have a favourite?
No, I don't actually. I don't, and I mean that as well. Obviously,
it's like your children, isn't it?
It's no secret. I've been with Pete for too long now. But no, I don't care. The perfect combination is a 1-2, and it doesn't really matter to me. Like yesterday, Davey was first and Pete was third, which for our first race was unbelievable, really. But I don't care. It doesn't. It's a team effort, really. Yeah. And the Superstock race was good yesterday. It's the first time them bikes have turned the wheel, so fourth and fifth, not where we want to be, but at the same time, first ride out, it's not so bad.
Yeah. So we chatted to Pete yesterday after the races, but talk to me about Pete and heading into 2025. Obviously, going all the way back to 2024, start of the season, pre-season testing at Alton, very unlike Pete. One of them not being his fault, but he had I think he had 3 offs during that test.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
And the British Superbike weekend.
Yeah, he was strong leading up to that, though. Even in the test, he was really strong, really happy, and then he had that crash, and it sort of went downhill from there, really. And listen to other podcasts that he's done, and he's honest enough to tell you that he wasn't in a great place, mentally, physically, just lots of outside things, and it's just general life, really, getting in the way. But, we've done what we've done, I think, to give him a new lease of life, really. And I think you know him anyway. You look at him; he's in a different place.
Well, that's it. Leading on from that, the question was going to be: he's coming into 2025, and he's kind of looking like the old Pete.
The old Pete, yeah.
Is that
100%,
what you see from inside the camp?
Yeah, not just me, but all of them, everyone, the whole team, and even sponsors when they're chatting. So, Pete seems in a good place, and and he does. He seems, and you don't mind when if you go to the Isle of Man and you don't win, then so be it. You'll come back and have another go. But if everyone's put all their efforts in, and he wasn't great. So hopefully he's back. Well, he is. He is back to where he is, and they're so alike to the point where I'm not sure who's the most laid back. Davey might be taking the mantle.
Do you think it's a competition of who is the most laid back?
It's frustrating for us a lot, for sure. Like even on the first day here, we couldn't take the bikes through scrutineering because they're still in bed and not got the leathers done. So
for God's sake. But all in all, team spirit's good. Looking forward to the TT.
Yeah, really looking forward to TT.
You got a hectic couple of weeks.
Yeah, we've got obviously
now and then.
Donington Park from here, and we've only got sort of 3 days in Donington, and we're still trying to catch your breath, and it's not easy getting parts. You know, these people ordered parts back in October, November, and we sort of didn't even think about ordering parts till February. So we're pushing hard. It is coming together slowly, but we could just do with another week. That's what we always say. But
you could always do with another week. But that's it. You're professionals, and you'll always we'll always get it done, won't you?
Yeah, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
And bringing Davey's boys into the teams is a perfect fit as well. It's like, yeah, it's good. Crack.
Daz, appreciate your time. We'll let you get back to work, and we'll see you on the island in a few weeks.
You will. Thank you very much. Cheers.
All right. I want to say man of the moment today. Man of the moment. Do you not think?
Yesterday. Right
now. Because we've just been stood waiting for you for the past 5 or 10 minutes. People wanting autographs, which is always the case with Ian Hutchinson. But today, it seems like your name is being thrown around the paddock everywhere. What a great result yesterday. Firstly, congratulations. Secondly, how good did that feel?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've been working hard to get like this for a long time. Since 2017. It's been a bit of a disaster with everything that's gone on, but I thought I was in this position to be able to do it last year, and things didn't work out. So last year was, it's been the hardest winter ever, really, because I've not had an injury through winter. I've had the injury of what happened last year to try and get over and pull myself together and give it another go yet again. And so yeah, it's been hard through winter. And then this team's come together, and we've been waiting for the 25 bikes, so everything's been very late. It's so hard on the boys and the mechanics and stuff getting the bikes ready. We've been sort of building them as we go along at the tracks, doing a couple of testing at Donington and Ulton, and then the race at Ulton, and we still keep getting parts for the bikes. We've only got a super stock bike for both races, which was my choice, to be fair, because I knew things were going to be late and I'd not get any time on a super bike. So, but yeah, we've got it working how I want it, and when it's like that, I can ride it.
Let's be honest. Towards the twilight of your career, you've still got the capability of winning. That's clear there. But like, to be able to do that must feel pretty fucking special.
Yeah, I mean, the first time from the crash in 2010, it was a miracle to come back from that, to be fair, and it took 5 years to win again. So I sort of missed 5 years of my career when I was at probably what would have been my peak of my career. And to come back and win again then was really was quite unbelievable, really. And then I had 3 years of winning, and then I had another crash. And so this time, obviously, when it happened in 2010, I was younger. Yeah, it took 5 years, but I was still fairly young, in my 30s. This time, it's taken 8 years, and I'm 45 years old. So you've got the problem where teams think, well, he's got no chance anymore because he's had all those injuries, he's had all that stuff happen. He'll never ride like he did ride. And he's old now, he's never going to ride anyway, even if he didn't have them. That's what you're up against. And there's not a lot of teams to take that on and believe like I believe. So yeah, you're up against it in all factors. But we started this new thing with Michael, and he had no expectations whatsoever. I have big expectations, but he doesn't for this year. He wanted to build into it, and I've probably been a little bit more aggro than he probably wanted, because I knew what I've put into it and what I've put into it through winter. And I'm just thinking, we've got the bike that is capable, from what other people have done. So why can't we make it capable the first year out, Obviously, not like saying I don't like the Northwest, but obviously the TT is where I want to be. So we'll just keep working on the bike and get ourselves to the Isle of Man. I'm umming and ahhing about doing Donington. Like, Michael don't know this.
Right.
And I don't think he wants me to. I need time on the bike, really. So it's like one of those, but then I need to understand the bike more.
Will you get enough time in practice at the TT to get that understanding for the race? Or
I will, yeah. But like I said, when we came here in 16, 17, I came into this event running at the front in a British Championship race. We did Ulton last week. I rode okay. I finished 10th. But I wasn't running at the front. I wasn't understanding the bike, how much I need to understand it.
Yeah.
So, it's like, shall we go to Donington and try to learn a bit more about the potential of the bike, you sort of want to ride a lot harder on the circuits and then pull back a little bit for the TT. I don't want to go to the TT and be riding more than I've ridden before. So
bit of a catch-22 then, that, into that situation.
But then also, like I say, I could get T-boned, or I definitely can't do another 8 years to come back, that's for sure.
Do you feel like if you'd scratched that itch and you were settled with it?
It's always hard to know, isn't it? I mean, at the end of the day, I feel exactly the same as I did in my 30s. You know, I still train exactly the same as I did. I've had to, you know, go through a lot of things to get myself back to just like changing direction through these chicanes, going from left to right when you've got no ankle, no tibia, half a femur, Christ. Half a calf muscle. That, you know, I'm not making this up. That's what I've got. So it's hard to change direction, and I've had to put a lot of effort into kind of build. There's muscles sticking out on me that a normal person don't have, because that's trying to do what a muscle that's not there is trying to do and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely harder.
Yeah. Well, listen, mate, again, congratulations on yesterday. Looking forward to seeing a fast Uchi at the TT this year. And I want to see you on the podium. All right?
Yo.
Mitch Rees, brand spanking newcomer to the Northwest. It's obviously the TT podcast. That's why we're here. That's what we're talking to people about. But let's have a quick recap of your first ever Northwest. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Up until yesterday?
Yeah, up until a little tip off yesterday just before church. Real weird late one, but just my fault. Just ran into dirty part of the circuit trying to go around the outside of a slower rider. Unfortunately, I had Jamie Coward in front of me as the carrot.
Right.
So probably just pushing on a little bit further than I should have. My mistake, but we learn from that, don't we?
Yeah, it's not a bad carrot to try and follow.
No, and to be fair, I felt like I wouldn't say I was sitting there easily, but I just felt comfortable. I wasn't riding out of my skin, and then to be fair, it was the first ever high side of my career.
First ever?
9 years and first one.
Oh, fair. What a place to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, what a place.
But you're all right though, and we're still going to be at the TT. There's no long-term damage.
Nah, just pride.
Yeah. So looking forward to the TT now. You were over TT Podcast live show. You're looking forward to it more now you've had a bit of an experience around the Northwest, or slightly more apprehensive, slightly more relaxed?
No, it's... I mean, obviously a crash always changes stuff, but to be fair, my whole goal coming over was just come over and enjoy myself, and to be fair, that's all I was doing. You know, obviously we'd got limited practice on Wednesday, and then yesterday I limited my own practice, but you know, I literally was riding around going, this is mega.
Yeah.
So, and then Davey's always telling me like, you'll do TT, and it's just like twice this, you know, it just blows your mind.
Apprehensive about that first newcomer's lap with Milky? Looking forward to it?
Yeah, I am actually. Yeah, even the newcomers lap here, Davey goes, he come down and he's like, was seeing me off on the grid, and he's like, I've never seen you so nervous. So I'm like, oh, wait till we get to the TT then. So
who took you around here?
Plater.
Was it?
Yeah.
Has he still got it? Was he?
Yeah, he's
was
all right.
pushing on?
He's pretty good.
Yeah. See,
he's ripping on the standard blade, that's for sure.
a lot of the newcomers when they head out don't expect Milky or Barty or whoever's taking the riders out to be as fast. And I think that always shocks them, that first kind of few miles. Opposed to it being a bit of a nice jaunt around, you know, you've got to be on it from kind of the word
you do.
go.
You got to keep that focus up, you know. And those boys have done that many laps around there, so it's like second nature to them. So they probably are just cruising in their minds, you know, because they just know where they're going. So for me, hopefully I can even keep up.
Do you think if I dropped you at any point on the TT circuit now and faced you forward, you could name it and know what comes after it?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah, I believe so.
You've kind of got that, knowledge in you.
I feel like I'm always, you know, and Dave, I'm very fortunate to the position I've had with Davey, obviously being such a close friend, and spent a lot of time in New Zealand. Like we sat down and we're playing Xbox on the couch, and, you know, he's talking me through it, and then I'm jumping on board, doing laps, and like, you know, before I come out, about the month before, I was like religiously every morning was doing a lap before work, and trying to get in the gym before I was, you know, going to work as well, and then get home from work and it'd be like go for a mountain bike, get home, do a couple of laps, watch on board.
Laps? When you say doing a couple of laps on the game?
On the game, yeah.
Right. And now you've been to the island and experienced it. Can you see where it relates?
Yeah.
Like the game, you can...
Yeah, and like just stuff like even going through Cagery and you're hooking through there and then the thing just chucks you off and you're like, oh, that's weird. And then, you know, to come back and then drive through there now again is like, oh, you can actually see
why it would do
you
that.
know.
Yeah.
And then just it's been quite good. I've managed to get out for laps with so many different people. They sort of point out even just small things that Milky and Johnny haven't said, and you're like, okay, sweet, that's fantastic to sort of know that.
Is there any part of the circuit you're looking forward to the most? It's a big old circuit.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things you're gonna break it down, and you know. The Black Dub sort of Glen Helen section looks kind of fun.
Yeah.
Obviously, Glen Helen looks nice with the new seal now. Yeah, I think a bit of everywhere, to be fair. It's just going to be one of those things when you got to be comfortable, and when you're comfortable, you'll enjoy through that section. And obviously, you know, where it doesn't feel so comfortable, it'll be a bit different.
And just get through it.
Yeah.
And then press on.
Yeah.
Mitch, absolute pleasure. I'll leave you to it. Good luck for the rest of the week here, and I'll see you on the island in a few weeks.
Awesome, mate. Thank you very much.
Mate.
Appreciate it.
There we go. It was nice to chat with especially Ian Hutchinson. Nice to chat to newcomers Barry Burrell and Mitch Rees. Now I am going to jump in the car, head over to Coleraine to the riders meet and greet, and hopefully bump into Lee Johnston as well as a few other riders. Let's go. So we've made it all the way down to Coleraine. It is so busy out there for the riders meet and greet. I'm joined once again by Lee Johnston in his cycling lycra. No one can see it, but it is a sight to behold. You're right, Lee. Good ride.
Got slagged off about my clothes for the last two. My trousers was yesterday and my cycling kit's today. I'm just going
if you dress like an old man,
I'm going to wear a onesie tomorrow, I think.
People are going to whinge about it.
Top it off.
Who have we got beside us?
The one and only Dean, Manx resident now, Dean Harrison.
Dean Harrison. You all right, mate?
Fantastic.
Good. I saw your dad earlier.
He's floating about here somewhere.
Milling about.
Yeah, he's here with the lads having a few beers. Yeah.
He rocked up the other day with his sleeping bag and his bag in the pits. He was stood in pit lane with his sleeping bag in the pits. He's an absolute weapon.
Looking well on that Supersport bike.
No, Supersport's not going too bad, to be fair. No, we're there or thereabouts. Alton were okay over weekend, obviously. And then jumping on the big bike here is a bit of a shock to the system.
Shock to the system because it's a little bit of a beast to handle, is it?
Yeah, it takes let's just say it's taken a lot out of me physically and mentally.
Right. Is that something you can work on to change?
I'm trying.
Honestly,
I'm going in tomorrow's race blind. I've changed. There's a few things we've changed for tomorrow that they think will work. Set up geometry wise. So we've tried that tomorrow, and I'm going blind in the first Superbike race to see what that's going to be like. But the problem is, if I don't test it here, where can I test it? Because I know the issue I'm having here, I'm going to have when I get to the Isle of Man, and I'm not going to ride that bike again from tomorrow to the TT. Yeah. So obviously, O'Donnington and riding back to the British Supersport. The 600's like a sewing machine. It's lovely to ride. It handles well. It stops well. It does everything it's meant to do. It's good. The Superstock Superbike go really well. The power's near enough there. It's just I'm having a few stability issues, let's say, with it at very high speed. Like try to set myself up to brake it. It's really difficult, and I can't. I don't feel like even on the in between the corners where I want to relax, I can't relax.
Right.
And it just takes that much out of me. I'm struggling with that a little bit.
Yeah, I was in the winner's enclosure when he came in last night, and I know how much riding he does. I know how fit he is, and there was rosy cheeks looking out through the helmet at me. I could tell that you'd put a shift in. You can see when I'm sitting in the commentary box and the helicopter is a long way, and when you can see that thing moving, I'm telling you now, when your backside is sat on that thing, it is really moving.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I says.
And all the places where Dean had. I'm not saying he should have won the race or whatever, but he definitely had the speed to win the race. But anywhere he got into a position to be able to make a pass, you just had to chop the throttle because the thing was, I'm going to say lively to be a polite word. Yeah, you could see on one lap, and just to try and explain it to the listeners, when you are slipstreaming, if you're like a bike length behind someone and they're over to one side of you, it actually pulls you across to that. You get sucked across, and then if the bike's already nervous or unstable, that you could see him like where he was talking about on that move to the pass, you could see he had pulled out and made the momentum, and it just gradually got, the closer he got to the bike in front, it got worse and worse and worse. And you can't, when you're doing 200 mile an hour, you're physically hanging on. I don't think people understand the force through the handlebars as well. Like you're talking a serious amount of weight here being pressed or shook around in your hands. So it's.
And in that situation, are you trying to relax to let it do what it needs to do and settle itself, or are you trying to hold it tight?
There's no, trust me, there's no. You can't relax. It just come out your hands.
And there's bikes inches away from you.
Well, that's why I struggle because I'm grabbing the brakes and I'm never getting a consistent position.
Yeah.
It's back here, then it's here, and I'm like, and
pushing the pads out.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to crash into the back. If I hit some back of somebody at that speed, it's going to be a disaster.
The thing you have to remember when Dean's talking about the levers moving, so when you grab the lever, if your fingers go like 15 mil further back, and then you grab, the amount of force is maybe 2 bar more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To try and, so like say if you pull the brakes really hard, say that's 10 bar. And if you're talking 25% more of that, it's a big difference in grabbing the lever. Then that upsets the bike. And so you're in a whole other mess then, considering.
It's unlikely for people like me to be able to even see any of this going on, and that's what's going on in.
I think if I pointed out to you once, then you would see it. You know, that's the thing. But
so we'll try a few changes tomorrow and see how it goes.
But that's it. That's the question. Do you think you can find the solution?
Oh, I don't know. I'll tell you tomorrow afternoon when we're trying out in tomorrow's morning's race.
Well, Dean won't be finding the solution. The team will be, but he'll soon tell them whether it works or not.
Dean, we're going to let you go and meet your fans.
That'll do. Thank you very much,
mate. Thank you.
I shall see you next time.
Easy now.
Easy now. Right, we are going to call the podcast a day there. But before we do, and before we get into the intro and discuss a few talking points, Lee, Dean's just left us. Is that a big concern for him, not being able to sort that bike out? Is it something? Is there a solution that can be found?
Yeah, there's always. Well, you would think so, because I think the fundamental of that bike is not to be nervous. I hope not, because if it is, it's going to be a long 2 weeks at the TT. Because if you think the road here is pan flat, I know the speeds are quite high, but it's not that much faster at the TT. And you put all them bumps and jumps and crests and cambers in the road.
Yeah.
That only adds to the problem. So I've had bikes here at the Northwest that handled amazingly stable, and I've taken them to the TT, and it's been really hard work.
Right. So
you can see or hear it in his voice. He's not backward about coming forward and saying how the situation is. So I think it's a case of it's going to be a big change to maybe even find the direction. So it might not be right for the first race, but if they could fall on it, or they've got a load of data. But if they make a big change to find the direction and then taper it back, or even go from there, and that will be then the new base setting or what they're aiming for. Because
he's riding that bike within an inch of its life itself, and he's up there with these problems. So it kind of bodes well that if he does,
I think he has to take the positives out of it and not get too disheartened in that stage. But then the other sense is Davey and Pete are going to get stronger as well, because their bikes are new. Even though this is Dean's first time here on the Superbike, they have had the bike for a year now and stuff. So you would think they're in a better position than the BMW boys.
And then let's round up briefly. Obviously, we've still got a full day of racing tomorrow at the Northwest, but after what we've seen Thursday night, the usual suspects are at the front.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any surprises, is there?
No, there's no.
Apart from Hutchie.
Yeah, that was a really good surprise as well. But there's no young surprises. There's no one sort of coming through. It's the same guys that we've sort of thought that we were going to put your money on before the event started, and it looks like that for Saturday as well.
Everyone's coming into it with good spirits, apart from Michael having a bit of an off yesterday.
He'll have forgot about that though, with the wins and stuff. He'll be fine.
And then, as long as everyone gets through Donington, then everyone's heading to the TT pretty fit and strong and ready to go.
Yeah, and good. Yeah, I'd say a good positive mindset as well.
Yeah, I reckon. I want to throw it out there. This could be the most competitive, most exciting, and I say this every year, but I mean it this year, the most exciting TT ever.
And maybe the fastest.
Do you think? If the weather's like this, though.
If it's like this. Oh my days, I'm going to have to pack some sun lotion.
You bring your sun cream and the sunshine, please.
I think my forehead shrunk with getting sunburn. Is that possible?
No. I'll bring the paddling pool. Right, Lee, where does everybody have to go to find out all the latest news and features on the Isle of Man?
IOMTTRacers.com.
He knows it. And what are we on the socials?
At TT Racers Official.
So check us out on TikTok, check us out on Instagram and the old Facebook. Make sure you've got your TT Plus live pass as well, so you can watch all the events unfold at the Isle of Man as it happens live.
Do you think I could get one of them FOC?
No. Well, that's all we have time for on this week's episode. We're going to be back next week for our episode at Donington Park, where we're going to have one final catch-up with our favourite TT names. In fact, we'll probably hear from Lee Johnston while he's in his levers getting ready to race, because, you know, even though he might not be racing on the roads, he's still racing on the circuits. Thanks, Lee.
Thanks, mate.